Now, if you when you open your book, you will find that your main syllabus starts from chapter number 2, which is demand. In chapter number 1, you have microeconomics and macroeconomics, which is generally not in the syllabus in ISC. You only need to know the difference between micro and macro. Nishta, do you know the meaning of micro and macro? Microeconomics versus macro.
माइक्रो में सिर्फ इंडिविजुअल का इनकम और से कंसर्न होता है, मैक्रो में पूरा नेशनल इनकम, एग्रीगेट डिमांड, एग्रीगेट सप्लाई से कंसर्न.
The word micro, like microscopic, means small organisms or small, right? And when we say macro or macroscopic organisms, we are talking of those organisms which are huge, which you can see. So microeconomics deals with those chapters that affects individual people. For example, what is your individual demand for wheat? What is your individual demand for fish? It will vary from person to person. For example, do you eat fish? Do you have a demand for fish in your house? Do you eat fish? If I am a vegetarian, I have no demand. So individuals, in case of individuals, the demand for fish will vary from state to state, culture to culture, and house to house. My neighbor may eat fish, I may not eat fish, or egg, or meat. Okay. But macroeconomics, macro, MA, it deals with those chapters in the book or those concepts that affect the economy on the whole and not just individual people. For example, when we say that a war is taking place, okay, between USA and Iran, so the effect of that, which can be inflation, the biggest effect that we will face, because India mein to war nahi hai, our lives are not at risk, right? But what is at risk is the sudden shooting up of prices. Understood? Gas या petrol नहीं मिलेगा, prices will go up. It is called inflation. What is it called? Inflation यानी महंगाई. Prices will keep rising. Now, inflation, will it affect only you, only me? Or will it affect all of us together, collectively? So nobody can claim that I have no inflation, you have inflation. Or I have less inflation, you have more inflation. So inflation is a problem that affects the entire country. Similarly, the problem of unemployment. If we say that India is suffering from unemployment, okay, berozgari means people all over the country are either not employed or they are underemployed. Remember in class 11, you had a term called underemployment, which means you are getting a job, but not the kind of job you deserve. Okay, you have done a degree, you have got engineering degree, but you are getting the job of a mechanic, for example, underemployment. So employment again is a part of macroeconomics. Therefore, your class 12 syllabus is basically about chapters which are going to affect you individually, which is a part of micro, and those chapters which will affect you overall. In class 11, you had poverty, you had unemployment. Those were a part of macro. And here you have chapters like uh, balance of payment, balance of trade, balance of payment, then fiscal policy, government budget. These will come later. For the time being, start with give the heading chapter 2, demand. The most important chapter for your term 1 syllabus or for your opening syllabus is demand. I'm quickly giving you a few question answers. Alongside that, I will explain. Question 1. Distinguish between, distinguish, DISTINGUISH, distinguish between free goods and economic goods. Free goods and economic goods. Answer. Free goods do not have a price. Free goods do not have a price, PRICE, and are usually free gifts of nature, and are usually free gifts of nature. Full stop. Examples: dash, air, comma, rain, etc. Air, rain, sunlight. Give 3 examples. Air, comma, rain, comma, sunlight. Okay, we use them. We use sunlight. You can use sunlight for so many things, even for domestic purpose. ऐसा नहीं है कि सनलाइट तो क्या क्या बात कर रहे हैं सर आप, सनलाइट तो ऐसे सन ही है. सनलाइट को हम लोग इंडस्ट्रियल पर्पस के लिए भी यूज करते हैं, चीजों को सुखाने के लिए, याद रखना. सो इट ऑल्सो हैज अ कमर्शियल यूज. इवन सनलाइट हैज अ कमर्शियल और इंडस्ट्रियल यूज इवन इन योर ओन हाउस. हम लोग कभी पापड़ सुखाते हैं, अचार सुखाते हैं, ओके, या कोई ओल्ड क्लोथ सुखाते हैं. एंड ऑब्वियसली इन इंडस्ट्रियल हाउसेस they use sunlight to dry so many things, but they are free goods because you do not buy them. Got it? Change para. Economic goods. Economic goods are scarce. SCARCE, are scarce, and so they command a price in the market. And so they command a price in the market. Full stop. For example, now you can give so many examples. Anything that you buy. For example, dash, pen, comma, paper, comma, mineral water. Okay, so mineral water is different from rainwater. Mineral water, comma, milk, etc. Milk means the milk that you purchase. ये part clear? Any question? One, any query? Arjasman? समझ गए? तो free goods means free goods. Economic goods means they are economically available in the market. We need to purchase them. Okay, question 2. What is demand? Very important. What is demand? What is demand? DEMAND. Demand. Answer. Answer. Demand for a commodity. Demand for a commodity refers to the quantities of that commodity, which, WHICH, which consumers are willing to buy, which consumers are willing to buy and able to purchase, ABLE, able to purchase at various possible prices, at various possible prices, 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 during a given time, during a given time. Full stop. Then write this equation, next line. In the next line, just write this equation. Therefore, next line. Therefore, demand equal to willingness to buy, willingness to buy plus financial ability to buy, which is called, तो ब्रैकेट में लिख सकते हो, परचेजिंग पावर. तो सम पीपल हैव डन इन क्लास 10. निष्ठा तुमने क्लास 10 में भी किया था. तो विलिंगनेस टू बाय, इसका मतलब होता है डिजायर. ओके, दिस मीन्स डिजायर. And ability to buy means your purchasing power. Demand has to constitute both desire and purchasing power. Understood? So with your definition, if you give this equation, your answer becomes a lot better. Now, this is the difference between English and economics. Okay, English and economics. In English, the word wish, desire, demand, want, they are all the same. Almost. I want this, I demand this, I desire this. But in economics, desire or want, for example, desire or want, which means what I desire. For example, even a poor person may desire what? Say something that he cannot afford. Like a very expensive phone. Even a poor person, one who lives on the road, he may desire that kash mere paas bhi wo iPhone hota, or a super car, a swanky car. Maybe a poor man's child who is your age, he may look at a sports car and he may want to buy it. Remember that. Thank you, ma'am. Chapter. Class 11 English. Thank you, ma'am. Chapter. That boy demanded. That boy had a desire to buy that blue suit shoes. Right? But what desire tha? The word demand means, so this poor boy or the poor beggar who has a desire to buy fancy phone or fancy shoes or a sports car, that is not called demand. It is only called desire. Okay, it will be called demand, which means we will consider that person's desire to be demand if that person has the ability to buy it. Got it? Whether you buy or not. Understood? So let us say you are passing, you are walking on the road, and you suddenly pass by, like, an ice cream shop. And there you see that there is a new kind of ice cream that has come. It costs, say, 150 rupees. And you want to eat it. But whoever you are with, your family member, tells you, no, chalo. So you do not buy it. So what is it called? Is it desire or demand? नहीं, डिमांड है ये. क्योंकि क्या वो खरीद सकता था कि नहीं? उसका क्या औकात था खरीदने का? था कि नहीं? खाली बोलो. Understood? Which means he was a potential customer. For the ice cream seller, he was a potential customer. Right? वो तो convince कर सकता था, ले लीजिए. Which means that is demand. Whether the person purchases or not, that is not the matter. The point is that the person has willingness and also the purchasing power or financial ability, which means that boy or that family is a potential customer. Potential customer means जो customer may convert हो सकता है, one who may buy for the ice cream seller. Understood? But let us say that there is a great showroom, a showroom of a Mercedes or BMW car. और बाहर से, from the glass window, a beggar boy is trying to peep in. Okay, trying to peep in. He's attracted by the glamour of the car. Now, what will the showroom wala do? Will the showroom wala say, come and have a test drive? Or will the showroom wala try to sort of shoo him away? Shoo him away. Why? Because they know he can't afford it. Means for the showroom seller or for the seller, that boy or that beggar boy is not a prospective or a potential buyer. Therefore, it is just a desire for the boy. It is not demand. But let us say that a boy who is from a well-off family, a boy or a girl who is from a very rich family, uh, that person is passing by, or that person is standing there with his uncle or father, and then the showroom seller or the salesman, they may try to invite him, or they may try to show him, yes sir, what do you want, come in, come in. Okay, because to the seller or to the salesman, that person or that family is a potential buyer. Now whether they will buy or not, that is not the consideration. They may buy, they may not buy, but they may buy. Okay. Now, in this definition, you find that there are 3 to 4 main points. 2 points I discussed, that there must be willingness to buy and also the purchasing power to buy. Understood? Yes or no? Third point is at a given time. Because right now, your demand for something may be more or less. But after a few months, your demand for the same thing may change. What is your demand for a sweater right now? In summer, high demand or no demand? Almost no demand or no demand. But this demand is not constant, is it? Therefore, we always end or begin with at a given time, which means at a particular time. So when we are talking of demand, we are talking of demand at a particular time. Because when the time changes, your demand will change. Like for example, right now, are you feeling hungry? Are you feeling very hungry or very thirsty? No. Therefore, you have very low or no demand for food or water. But after say 2 3 hours, when your hunger will increase and when the lunch time will come, your demand for those things will increase. Demand will increase, which means अगर तुम अपने घर पे नहीं हो, you're out, so you will buy something from outside shop. Means you are a prospective customer, you are a potential buyer. Okay, so demand is always subject to time. Time. What is your demand for a nappy? जो baby का होता है, no demand. But when you were a baby, when we all were babies, we had demand for nappies. Okay, so what I'm saying is that demand is subject to time or time period. Understood? I have no demand for say something that I do not use, but you may have demand for that. Okay, Nisha, do you wear spectacles? Chashma, which means you have no demand for lens or spectacles, but you have demand for spectacles, Kohan, because you wear it. Understood? So the demand, therefore we say at the beginning of the class, I told you that demand is individualistic. It is a part of microeconomics because demand will vary from person to person based on your taste and preference or your habit or your need. Remember in class 11, there was a chapter called primary want, secondary want. So spectacles is your primary want. Do you agree? Without spectacles, how will you survive? How will you survive? Matlab, you will survive, but you will not be able to do your regular activities. You will not be able to attend classes or watch anything on the board. So spectacles may be a part of your primary want, but it is not your want at all. So demand changes from person to person. Also, for the same person, it changes from time to time. It is also dependent on my taste and preference. For example, there was a time when I was young, when I was in school, I did not like noodles at all. मैं chowmin कभी नहीं खाता था. So my demand for chowmin was almost zero. But now I have begun to eat it for some reason. My taste and preference has changed. So taste and preference is an important factor of demand. So are habits. My habit also decides my demand. For example, I do not smoke. I do not smoke. But somebody who is, say, my colleague or my friend, that person may smoke. So that person's demand for cigarettes is high. My demand for cigarette is 0. I have the purchasing power. I can buy a cigarette. It costs 5 rupees, 6 rupees, 2 rupees. I can buy, but I do not have willingness. ठीक है, दोनों चीज होना चाहिए ना for demand. Purchasing power के साथ your desire or willingness to buy. Is this clear? And the definition also says at various possible prices. So at different prices, your demand will change. If something is cheaper, you may buy 4 pieces.
Like seasonally, the prices of fish vary.
Yes.
Demand may increase.
And for example, if you go to a shop that is selling toffee, eclairs or something, you ask what is the price. He tells you 1 rupee. So you will say, okay, give me 10. Give me. तो कितना खर्चा होगा? 1 rupee, 10 rupees. If he says 2 rupees, but this time you may say 20 rupees, इतना मुझे खर्चा नहीं करना. So you will say, give me 5 or 6, which means when the prices rise, your demand usually comes down. Usually, there are certain exceptions. We'll come to that. Now, question 2. Discuss any 6. Discuss any 6 determinants. DETER, DETER, MINANTS. Determinants of demand. In brackets, right? In brackets, right? Factors affecting demand. In brackets, right? Factors affecting demand. Factors affecting demand. Bracket close. Answer. Achha, in your ISC book, there are around 11 points. I'm giving you 6 important ones. The rest you read from the book. We will discuss that. Answer. Following are the important determinants of demand. Following are the important determinants of demand. Colon. Number 1. Price of the commodity. Price of the commodity. Underline that. This is the name of the point. Give a dash. This is the most important factor. Understood? Suppose if some commodity is highly priced, your demand will be low. If its price falls, our demand rises. For example, mango. Mango season is coming. So if mangoes are very expensive, people will buy, but they will buy less. If the prices fall, they will buy more. If the prices rise, they will buy less. So give a dash and write. For normal goods, comma, there is usually an inverse relationship there is usually an inverse, INVERSE, an inverse relationship between price of the commodity and its quantity demanded. and its quantity demanded. Full stop. In other words, in other words, comma, if the price is low, if the price is low or false, comma, the demand is high or increases. The demand is high or increases.
True or false?
Comma, the demand is high or it increases. Full stop. Similarly, comma, if the price is higher, if the price is higher, or if it increases, or if it increases, or if it increases, comma, the quantity demanded is low or it falls. Full stop. Is this clear? Second point, income of the consumer. Point 2, income of the consumer. This is the second determinant of demand, income of the consumer. Now we just discussed that when we talk of price, the relationship is inverse. If the price rises, demand falls. If the price falls, demand rises. Usually for normal commodities. But second factor is income. Now, if your income rises, then your demand will increase. है ना? तुम suppose अगर if you buy pastries once a week, if your income rises, then you may start buying 2 days, twice, thrice a week. You will keep some extra pastries in your refrigerator for guests. So income is usually connected to increase in, higher income is usually connected to increase in demand. So there is a direct relationship. One goes up, the other goes up. One goes down, the other goes down. So give the heading income of the consumer, give a dash, and then write. Usually, comma, there is a direct relationship. Usually, comma, there is a direct relationship between income of the consumer and his demand for the commodity his लिख दो and his demand for the commodity. Full stop. For normal goods, NORMAL, for normal goods, in brackets, right? Such as clothes and appliances. 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 Bracket close. Appliance means, any gadget that you use. Phone, AC, washing machine, refrigerator. क्या line है? For normal goods such as clothes and appliances, bracket close, comma, when the income of the consumer increases, then then the quantity demanded also increases. Then the quantity demanded also increases. Full stop. Change para. Same point, change para. But there is an inverse relationship. But there is an inverse relationship between income of the consumer, income of the consumer and quantity demanded and quantity demanded. Full stop. For example, dash, if a person's income increases, if a person's income increases, if a person's income increases, comma, his demand, his demand for inferior goods, his demand for inferior goods like maize, M-A-I-Z-E, maize, comma, jowar, 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 or low quality rice, or low, LOW, low hyphen quality, low quality rice will, Achesman, if your income increases, then your demand for it will decrease, right? क्योंकि तुम तो रिच हो गए हो, तो तुम अब थोड़ी ना फालतू खाना खाओगे. Understood? So your demand for these things, low quality rice, will decrease. Will decrease. Full stop. Again, change para. In case of inexpensive necessities, inexpensive, one word, inexpensive necessities, NECESSITIES, inexpensive necessities such as salt and matchbox, such as salt and matchbox, comma, the quantity purchased increases slightly, when income increases, when income increases and then becomes constant, in bracket, right, does not increase, bracket close, even if income goes on increasing, even if income goes on increasing. So this point just we have divided this point into 3 points. So the first part was normal goods like appliances or clothes. So for this, the relationship between income and demand is direct. Okay, which means when income increases, your demand also increases, and when income falls, your demand also falls. You add this with your answer. Just a line chhod ke. Then we have inferior goods like low quality food. Low quality food, सड़क का खाना, okay, सड़क में भांड का चाय, all those things. So here what happens? The relationship is inverse. Because if your income goes on increasing, then your demand goes on decreasing. है ना? तो डिमांड उल्टा होगा. देखो ये डायरेक्ट मतलब जब ये इनकम ऊपर जा रहा है ये भी ऊपर जा रहा है, जब इनकम नीचे जा रहा है ये भी नीचे जा रहा है. और इसमें ऑपोजिट हैपेंस. द मूवमेंट इज ऑपोजिट और कॉन्ट्राडिक्टरी. When income rises, when you become rich or richer, your demand falls. And if you become poorer, तो your demand will increase. Because फिर तुम अच्छा खाना छोड़ के सस्ता खाना खोजोगे. And third is those necessities that we use in our house, but they are inexpensive. मतलब वो 1-2 रुपए का चीज है. तुम्हारा मैच बॉक्स पे पूरा महीना में कितना लगता है? 5 रुपया, 10 रुपया. या salt is very cheap in India. So salt, the one packet of salt, it lasts for more than a month or even 2 months. It costs 10, 20, 30 rupees. So here what happens? First, you have a direct relationship, which means when your income rises, you will buy a bit more salt. तुम्हारे घर में अगर 2 मैच बॉक्स है तो वो 3 रहेगा. Understood? But will you go on buying it? So there is a direct relationship and then it becomes constant. ये कॉपी कर लो, then it becomes constant. Just ये illustration के लिए जो अपने आंसर में तुम ऐड कर भी सकते हो, नहीं भी कर सकते हो. ये सिर्फ समझने के लिए है. If you get a case study kind of thing, just understand this. For inexpensive necessities like salt or matchbox, first, if you are very poor, there is no matchbox in your house, or there is very less number of matchsticks. Your income increases, you will buy 2 matchsticks, 2 matchboxes. But if your income goes on increasing, will you go on buying salt and matchboxes? Think about it. Will you go on buying them? What I am saying is that let's say that a person is very poor. There is a person who is very poor. The person does not have even 1 matchbox. The person needs matches, he borrows. वो यहाँ वहाँ कहीं से borrow करता है. If the person becomes slightly richer, the person will have 1 matchbox. If the person becomes more rich, he will have 2 or 3 matchboxes. Now imagine that the person is becoming more and more rich. तो क्या वो अपने घर क्या मैचबॉक्स से भरता चला जाएगा? हाँ, उस हिसाब से तो शाहरुख खान, अमिताभ बच्चन, सचिन तेंदुलकर उनके घर में मैचबॉक्स होना चाहिए. Understood? What I am saying is that in your house and in Sachin Tendulkar's house, there may be the same number of matchboxes. Is it possible? Yes or no? कि तुम्हारे घर में 4 मैचबॉक्स है और शाहरुख खान, सचिन तेंदुलकर उनके घर में भी 4 मैचबॉक्स है. Possible or not? Possible. So after a point, people, even if they go on becoming rich, their demand becomes constant. They do not increase their demand. But the same will not happen in case of shoes or in case of cars. You may have 1 car, you may have 2 cars. Okay. But a man who is super rich, they will have 10 cars. Okay. Similarly, shoes. You may have 1 pair, you may have 3 pair, you may have 4 pair. But people who are super rich and are very fond of shoes, they almost have a wardrobe of shoes. They have like 70 pairs. Got it? What I'm saying? You may have 1 bike, you may have 2 bikes or scooters in your house. But a rich person who has become very rich and is fond of bikes, they will go on increasing their collection. Like actor John Abraham and cricketer MS Dhoni. They have like 70-80 bikes. Okay, so that is, they are normal goods. Income बढ़ने से तुम purchase बढ़ाते जाओगे. If you like that. But even if you like that, you will not increase the purchase of salt or safety pin. It is another inexpensive necessity. Or matchbox. Okay. Then third point, we are doing factors affecting demand. First, I told you price of the commodity. Second, income of the consumer. Then write number three. Number three, third point, tastes and preferences. Tastes, TASTES. Tastes and preferences. Underline that, give a dash. Demand for a commodity or service. Demand for a commodity or service. Demand for a commodity or service is also affected by tastes and preferences tastes and preferences of the consumers of the consumers. Full stop. For example, dash, due to change in lifestyle and habits, 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 comma, there has been an increase in the demand for gym services, GYM, gym services in recent years. Full stop. Similarly, comma, due to change in fashion and personal choices, and personal choices, comma, there has been a decline, 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 decline matlab
Reduction.
fall या reduction, okay, in Indian traditional outfits, like kurta pajama, KURTA, kurta, pajama you can write PAJAMA, kurta pajama, and sari, SAREES, sarees. Full stop. ये point समझ गए? Sometimes what happens, it is not about income. It is not about income. It is not about price. If you can buy a shirt or a t-shirt, you can also buy a kurta pajama. But if you compare today's people with, say, people of your grandparents' age, okay, तुम्हारा Nana ji, Dada ji, then you will find they used to wear kurta pajamas a lot more regularly. Or your granny or grandmother, they used to wear sarees all the time. But today, if you look at today's people, okay, then people do not wear Indian outfit that much in India. They wear it occasionally on festive seasons. Even sarees and all, people do not wear it daily. They wear salwar suits or western t-shirts and all. Okay, so this has nothing to do with your income, because if you can afford to buy a shirt, you can also afford to buy a kurta. Okay, if you can afford to buy a top, you can also afford to buy a sari. This has got to do with change in lifestyle or fashion. Then fourth point. हाँ इतना लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है इसमें, बस just write the point and give an example. Consumers expectations. Fourth point, right? Consumers expectations. CONSUMERS SUMERS, consumers apostrophe expectations, expectations, underline, give a dash. If consumers expect the prices to fall in near future, comma, they often decrease their present demand by postponing, POSTPONING, by postponing their purchases, full stop. Similarly, comma, if consumers fear, FEAR, if consumers fear that prices may rise in the future, comma, then they are likely to purchase more, at present. इसको समझ के लिखो. They are likely to purchase more at present in order to avoid paying more in the future. In order to avoid paying more in the future. In order to avoid paying more in the future. Full stop. For example, dash. If कार ओनर्स जिनके पास कार या मोटर बाइक या स्कूटर है, कार ओनर्स feel that petrol prices may rise the following week. मतलब next week. कॉमा, क्या करोगे रचिस्मान? अगर सपोज तुम्हारे पास कोई बाइक या कार है, तुम
Store for an about issue content.
माने फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो पेट्रोल फुल कर लोगे, इवन दो यू डिड नॉट नीड इट. मतलब अगर प्राइस नहीं बढ़ता या डर नहीं होता तो तुम क्या करते? भागते नहीं भागते. तो द फियर ऑफ फ्यूचर प्राइस makes you buy more at present, so your demand rises because of that fear. अगर वो fear नहीं होता, there was no speculation about the future price, then you would not have increased your demand. Okay, क्या लिखा है पढ़ो. For example,
The car owners feel that the petrol prices may rise
the following week, comma, they will immediately fill their FILL, fill their THEIR, they may immediately fill their car tanks and may even buy and store, full stop. तो कुछ लोग ना थोड़ा सा वो बोतल में स्टोर कर लेते हैं, जैसे जिसके पास स्कूटर है वो एक कांच प्लास्टिक का बोतल में स्टोर कर लेते हैं, फिर ऐसे खुद ही डाल देते हैं, खोल के डाल देते हैं. है ना? Those people who need a lot, they do that. Next point. Point number 5. Government policy. Government policy. Underline, give a dash. Which topic are we doing? Factors affecting demand. हाँ, टॉपिक क्या है? तो याद रखो कि क्या गवर्नमेंट का पॉलिसी, स्पेशली टैक्स, डज दैट अफेक्ट योर डिमांड? अगर गवर्नमेंट टैक्स बढ़ा देगा तो
परचेज ऑफ द, मतलब जिस कमोडिटीज का टैक्स बढ़ेगा उसका परचेज कम हो जाएगा।
क्यों? क्योंकि वो महंगा हो जाएगा, है ना? अगर गवर्नमेंट टैक्स बढ़ा देता है तो इट बिकम्स एक्सपेंसिव फॉर मी, so automatically things we will start to decrease it. So write down government policies like tax policies also affect AFFECT, also affect the demand for most commodities. Full stop. For example, dash, if the Indian government, if the Indian government increases GST, GST को ब्लॉक लेटर में लिखो, कैपिटल G, कैपिटल S, कैपिटल T. If the Indian government increases GST on अब कोई ऐसा चीज का एग्जांपल लिखो जो इतना इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, जैसे कि don't use rice and wheat because they are necessaries. So if government increases GST on say luxury clothes means branded clothes.
Luxury items,
लिखो luxury items or luxury clothes, whatever, comma, these items will become more expensive for the consumers and many of them will decrease their demand. Full stop. Next point, point number 6. ये इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, इसलिए लास्ट के लिए मैंने छोड़ा है. Prices of related goods, RELATED. Okay, it is a very important point. Give a dash, underline and give a dash. Then write the demand for a commodity. The demand for a commodity is also affected by the prices of its related goods, comma, namely, 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 the next line, number A, small a, substitute, SUBSTITUTE, substitute goods Next line, number B, complementary goods. In complementary, there is only E, no I. complementary, complementary goods. Give a colon. Then go to the next line. We'll do it in two parts. Then write number A. Go to the next line and write number A. And give a subheading, substitute goods. Substitute goods. Dash. If the price of a substitute good, coffee, COFFE, if the price of a substitute good, coffee, increases, comma, the demand for tea, TEA. One, the demand for tea will increase, sure. If the price of coffee increases.
The decrease.
कैसे?
ना increase how coffee.
कॉफी महंगा हो गया नहीं, टी का वही दाम है. मतलब समझ लो, लोग तो क्या तो टी पीते हैं, कॉफी पीते हैं. अगर कॉफी महंगा हो जाएगा तो लोग टी ज्यादा पिएंगे, बिकॉज दे आर सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स. मतलब दे कंपीट विथ ईच अदर. अंडरस्टूड? अगर दो चीज है, दोनों में कंपटीशन है. अगर कॉफी महंगा है तो जो लोग कॉफी पीते हैं वो लोग भी चाय पीने लगेंगे, काफी लोग. ओके, सो राइट डाउन, द डिमांड फॉर टी विल इंक्रीज. Full stop. So there is a direct relationship. So there is a direct relationship between demand for tea, 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 and the price of its substitute, coffee. The price of its substitute, coffee, COFFE. After this, draw this diagram. We are drawing the two axes. Okay, this is origin. Here you are marking the x-axis and then y-axis. It's a simple graph that you used to do in maths also. In the y-axis, we always write price, and on the x-axis, we always write demand or quantity. So in this example, we are taking the price of what? Coffee. So यहाँ लिख दो price of coffee. And on the x-axis, we are writing demand for tea or quantity demanded for tea. Now, because the relationship between them is a direct relationship. Okay, so the demand curve for tea, this I will explain later also. The demand curve for tea will be a rising or a positively sloped curve. First, you just draw a curve like this, which is a rising curve. Let's call it D or DD. अब इसका मतलब क्या है? In this axis, as the price goes up, on the y-axis you go up, and as the demand for tea goes up, जब डिमांड बढ़ेगा तो तुम इस तरफ मूव करोगे, राइट? जब डिमांड घटेगा तो तुम इस तरफ मूव करोगे. Now let us say that the price of coffee was P1. P1 means the initial price. So from P1 को 1, draw a horizontal line, a dotted line, like you did in ogive curve. Okay, and make it touch the demand curve. और जहां पे टच हो रहा है वहां से क्या करना है, एक वर्टिकल लाइन ड्रॉप करो ऑन द एक्स एक्सिस। अब ये जहां पे होगा वो क्या होगा,
P2.
नो इट विल बी Q1 which means the demand for tea। अंडरस्टूड? इसका क्या मतलब आ रहा है चिस्मान, कि जब कॉफी का ये प्राइस है, मतलब इतना प्राइस है, तो टी का डिमांड कितना है, इतना। ठीक है। अब अगर मेरे को कॉफी का प्राइस को बढ़ाना है, तो तुम ऊपर जाओगे या नीचे जाओगे, ऊपर जाओगे। तो लेट अस से अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर एग्जांपल, इफ द प्राइस ऑफ कॉफी इंक्रीजेस फ्रॉम P1 टू P2, मान लो ये P2, थोड़ा सा ऊपर कर दो, P2 हो गया। तो नाउ क्या करना है, वही चीज करना है, फ्रॉम P2 यू ड्रॉ हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन, लेट इट टच द डिमांड कर्व, वहां से अगेन यू ड्रॉ वर्टिकल लाइन। अब मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि वर्टिकल लाइन एडजस्टमेंट कहां पे है, Q1 से दूर है, Q1 से कम है। इसका मतलब डिमांड टी का क्या हुआ, छोटा हुआ या बड़ा। देखो डिमांड पहले ये था, डिमांड हमेशा यहां से कैलकुलेट करते हैं, प्राइस भी यहां से कैलकुलेट करते हैं। पहले प्राइस OP1 था, मतलब दिस वाज द प्राइस, दिस वाज द डिमांड। अब प्राइस बढ़ गया, यहां से यहां आ गया, तो प्राइस इंक्रीजेस, डिमांड ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेस, क्योंकि डिमांड टी का डिमांड है ना, ये डिमांड टी का डिमांड है। अंडरस्टूड? सो इफ कॉफी बिकम्स डियरर और मोर एक्सपेंसिव, द डिमांड फॉर टी ऑल्सो इंक्रीजेस। क्लियर? ये करके छोड़ दो, फिर नंबर बी लिखो, नंबर बी लिखो आगे। दिस वाज number A, substitute goods. Now write number B. Number B, I told you, complementary goods. 1 second. Hello. Number B, write down. Number B, complementary goods. Complementary goods, in complementary there is no I, only E. I वाला कॉम्प्लीमेंट का मतलब होता है मुझे कॉम्प्लीमेंट देना, तारीफ करना। तो ये इन कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री देयर इज नो आई, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स। नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स आर दोस गुड्स व्हिच आर नॉट competitive, ओके, बट दे कॉम्प्लीमेंट ईच अदर। जैसे टी का जो राइवल है, राइवल एनमी, वो है कॉफी, तो दे आर सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स। बट जो टी का दोस्त है, टी का फ्रेंड है, वो कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री है। कौन, एक एग्जांपल दो, टी के साथ जो तुम, विच गो हैंड इन हैंड,
Sugar.
शुगर, ठीक है, या फिर टी के साथ बिस्किट्स, मिल्क एंड शुगर, टी एंड शुगर, गुड एग्जांपल, राइट। कार एंड
Petrol.
पेट्रोल कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री। बट इफ आई से लेट्स से डीजल कार वर्सेस पेट्रोल कार, तो वो सब्स्टिट्यूट हुआ। अरे अगर पेट्रोल कार महंगा हो जाएगा, या लेट्स से पेट्रोल कार वर्सेस इलेक्ट्रिक कार, बेटर एग्जांपल है ना, लोग आजकल इलेक्ट्रिक कार खरीदते हैं, देखे हो, उसका ग्रीन प्लेट होता है, रास्ते में देखो मिल जाएगा बहुत। तो इफ गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रहा है ना, वी हैव आल्सो डन अ पॉइंट, गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी। तो गवर्नमेंट tries to charge less GST on electric cars to their rivals. If अगर पेट्रोल कार बहुत महंगा होता चला जाए, तो लोग इलेक्ट्रिक कार खरीदेंगे, if it is cheaper, so they are substitutes. But a normal car and petrol they are complementary. So write down, uh, give a dash, complementary goods, and write complementary goods. Complementary goods are those goods. Complementary goods are those goods that go hand in hand, that go hand in hand, hand in hand, that is का साइन कैसे दोगे, I E, okay, I dot E dot, that is they are consumed jointly or together. They are consumed jointly. Jointly, jointly or together. Full stop. Examples are bread and butter, comma. Do you agree that they are joint goods? बिना ब्रेड के तो बटर खाली चाटते नहीं हो मुंह से, है ना? अगर ब्रेड का डिमांड कम हो जाएगा तो बटर का डिमांड भी कम हो जाएगा, कॉमा. शूज एंड सॉक्स. अब समझो, शूज एंड सॉक्स आर कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री, लेकिन शूज और सैंडल्स हम लोग और यूज करते हैं ना. अरे हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं, विल यू, व्हाट आर यू वेयरिंग, शूज और सैंडल्स, राइट? तो व्हेन द वर्ड और इज यूज्ड इट इज अ सब्स्टिट्यूट. अगर वेटर तुम्हारे पास आता है किसी रेस्टोरेंट में, वो क्या बोलता है, सर विल यू हैव टी डैश कॉफी, प्रेफर नहीं, और या एंड. इफ यू गो टू समबडीज हाउस, व्हाट विल दे से, आप चाय या कॉफी लेंगे या चाय और कॉफी लेंगे, क्या बोलोगे? चाय और कॉफी लोगे ऐसे बोलोगे, या चाय लोगे या कॉफी, क्या बोलोगे? बोलो, या बोलोगे ना, और वर्ड यूज करोगे. तो और वर्ड हो रहा है बिकॉज दे आर कंपिटिटिव गुड्स, आइदर दिस और दिस, ओके. बट व्हेन गुड्स आर कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री दे गो इन एंड फॉर्म. विल यू टेक टी एंड बिस्किट्स, ओके? विल यू टेक टी एंड शुगर और टी विथ शुगर, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स है. तो एग्जांपल्स आर, क्या लिखा, ब्रेड एंड बटर, कॉमा, शूज एंड सॉक्स, कॉमा, कार एंड पेट्रोल, कॉमा, टी एंड शुगर, एटसेट्रा. ये कॉन्सेप्ट को समझो. हम जो एग्जांपल दिए हैं वो तो कुछ एग्जांपल है, एग्जाम में कोई भी एग्जांपल आ सकता है. दे विल टेल यू टू आइडेंटिफाई कि कौन सा गुड्स है, उसका चार्ट बनाने, ग्राफ बनाने, तो यू विल बी एबल टू फिगर आउट, तो हाँ कि वो क्या है. जैसे स्पेक्टिकल्स और लेंस, ये दोनों क्या हुआ? तुम क्या दोनों पहनोगे या एक पहनोगे, है ना? मतलब तुम क्या पूछते हो, आर यू वेयरिंग स्पेक्टिकल्स, डू यू वेयर स्पेक्टिकल्स और लेंस, ये क्वेश्चन होता है, या डू यू वेयर स्पेक्टिकल्स एंड लेंस, और ना. तुम अभी तो एक चीज है, तो दे आर कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री. अगर स्पेक्टिकल्स, मान लो लेंस सस्ता हो जाए तो काफी लोग स्पेक्स छोड़ के लेंस में आ जाएंगे, इफ दे डू नॉट लाइक टू वेयर हेवी स्पेक्टिकल्स, वाइस वर्सा. लेंस महंगा हो जाए तो जो लोग लेंस पहनते हैं वो लोग भी स्पेक्टिकल्स में आ जाएंगे. एनीवे, फिर आगे लिखो, फुल स्टॉप. एग्जाम्पल के बाद यू चेंज अ लाइन एंड राइट. इफ, जो बुक में एग्जाम्पल है वही दे रहे हैं. इफ द प्राइस ऑफ पेट्रोल, increases, if the price of petrol increases, comma, the demand for cars will, ठीक से बोलो, दिमाग नहीं चल रहा क्या? पेट्रोल तो महंगा हो गया है, तो लोग कार थोड़ा खरीदना कम कर देंगे. कलेक्टिवली दे विल से, कह रहा पेट्रोल इतना महंगा हो गया है, कार को मेंटेन नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो राइट डाउन, द डिमांड फॉर कार्स विल डिक्रीज. ठीक है, तो ये डायग्राम फिर से बना लास्ट. अब डायग्राम में कर्व उल्टा बनेगा बस. So after this point, just draw this. Once again, draw the two axes. Origin, x-axis, y-axis. अच्छा, यहां पे लिखो प्राइस ऑफ, आई टोल्ड यू प्राइस हमेशा y-axis पे आएगा, प्राइस ऑफ पेट्रोल. और यहां पे लिखो डिमांड या क्वांटिटी डिमांडेड ऑफ कार्स. हम लोग लास्ट टाइम जो कर्व बनाया था राइजिंग कर्व था, अभी फॉलिंग कर्व होगा. ओके, क्या कैसा कर्व होगा? फॉलिंग कर्व होगा, क्योंकि इनके बीच में जो रिलेशनशिप है वो इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप है. तो लिखो DT। अब सोचो, अच्छा यहाँ पे कैप्शन दे दो, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स, कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री गुड्स एंड द रिलेशनशिप इज इनवर्स। और वो प्रीवियस डायग्राम में भी कैप्शन दे देना, सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स और डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप। इन द प्रीवियस डायग्राम ये वाला कैप्शन दे दो, सब्स्टिट्यूट गुड्स एंड इन ब्रैकेट डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप। ओके, यहाँ पे इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप अब क्यों है देखो। लेट अस से फर्स्ट वी मेक द प्राइजेस P1, then from P1 you draw a horizontal line and make it fall here. This is Q1. So if this is the price of petrol, then this is the demand of cars. Then over. Now one thing, if I increase the price of petrol, so what happens to the demand?
Demand of cars decreases.
Because कर्व तो इस तरफ जा रहा है ना, ऐसे जा रहा है, राइट? वो तो ऐसे नहीं जा रहा है। तो now if you find that the horizontal line is smaller, तो यहां से you draw a vertical line and you will find that Q2 is on the left of Q1, denoting that this is the decrease. इतना पहले इतना था, अब इतना हो गया, so this much is the decrease in demand. Okay. इसमें 3-4 पॉइंट और है, मेन पॉइंट्स आई हैव गिवन, 3-4 पॉइंट और है which you read from book that I will discuss later. यहाँ तक लर्न करना, will then continue.